So I start with my Tarte Clean Slate Flawless Primer, and I just put a good layer all over my face. Then I go in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I like to kind of put it on my hand and then put it in dots onto my face because I feel like it covers the best. And then I go with my blending sponge and just kind of blend it all out. Excuse the redness, I'm allergic to like every lash glue, so I constantly have like a mini rash on my eyes, so I'm not gross, I promise y'all. And I go in with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I use the shade Custard. And then I go on top of that with the NYX Mineral Foundation Stick, just for a little extra brightness, you know, some good highlight glowness. And I use it to cover up my redness also. You don't have to do that, but I do. Then I go in with my Clinique Line Smoothie Concealer in Deep Honey. Use it to contour. A little bit of this goes a really long way, which is why you see me not putting as big of strokes as a lot of people do. Plus, you don't necessarily need that. As you can see, I kind of messed up my nose, but it's all good. I fixed it. Life is good. And this stuff blends out really easy. I actually talked about this on my favorites video for January. You can see how easily I blend it out. Like, it literally takes only a few little pats, and that's all you need. I like to use a blending sponge for the blending on my face, and then I go in with the foundation brush for under my neck just to get the best coverage possible. And a little bit on my nose too, just because I feel like the shape of it makes it a little bit easier to do. Also, for the record, I use the Real Techniques blending sponge, and you're going to want to use that damp, so just run it under the water and wring it out in a towel, and all the blending and things will be so much easier. Then I go back in with my NYX Mineral Foundation Stick just to do my highlighting. I do a little fan on top of my forehead, then down the bridge of my nose, underneath my eyes, up to my cheekbones, then a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and a little dot on my chin. And everybody's contour and highlight is going to be a little different. This is specific for my face, but the places where you're supposed to put the highlight and contour are pretty much the same. For the areas you want to pronounce, you want to use a highlight there. And for the areas you want to kind of camouflage or make appear smaller, that's where you put the contour. Then I go in with my Ben Nye Luxury Powder in the shade Banana. And with a small blending sponge, I kind of just stipple it onto the places where I highlighted to set and give me a little extra boost. I like to stipple it on because it's going to give you the best coverage and in turn the best brightness possible. I like to put a little bit underneath my contour just to kind of make it pop, and that also helps cover a little bit of my redness because the yellow will counteract the redness in my skin. Then I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Palette. I'm using the gray shade just to give me my shadow for my contour. The gray shade in there is technically just to do a contour. You don't want to put that all over your face, otherwise you're going to look like a dead person. I like to use my e.l.f. small stippling brush just to get a nice airbrush kind of clean shadow area. I go on the sides of my nose, and then I'll go into my temples and on my forehead. Like I said, you don't want to put this everywhere. You just want to create a nice shadow. And then a little bit to cover my double chin, you know. Life is good. Then I go with my LORAC Tantalizer bronzer in matte. I just go right over where I put that gray shade, just kind of warm it up, make me look a little more alive and fresh and things like that. Then I go on top of that with my Wet n Wild bronzer in Tickets to Brazil to kind of blend it all together and make it look cohesive and kind of giving me more of that airbrush contour feel. It's a really light bronzer, which is nice. Sometimes I'll just wear that during the day. Then I go in with a little extra of my Banana and my Real Techniques contouring brush and kind of just blend everything out. Make sure everything is seamless. There's no harsh lines or anything like that because lines for your contour are not cute. Then I go with my NYX Baked Blush in the shade Sugar Mama. I really like this blush just because I don't really like to wear blush. I just like a nice little wash of color, a nice little peach natural thing. Then I'm going in with my LORAC Gilded Honey, aka life-giving substance of my existence. I actually use a setting brush from Real Techniques for that just because I feel like it actually gives me the best bang for my buck. You're supposed to illuminate in the places where the light naturally hits your face, like down the bridge of your nose, on top of your cheekbones, and I put a little bit under my brow and on the top of my brow. I also put a little bit on my Cupid's bow and then a little on my chin. Then I hit it with a little bit of NYX setting spray, and that's it, y'all. And for the lip, I'm using the NYX High Voltage Lipstick in the color Feline, just in case you wanted to know. Feel free to share this video and subscribe if you're not already doing so. Thanks for watching, and stay woke, y'all.